Good morning. Tuesday morning, I believe it is. What a week it's been here. Good morning, Brentwood. We are joined this morning live by Brentwood Planning and Codes Director, Jeff Dobson. And then we also have Bobby Butts, our Building and Codes Inspector from Planning and Codes, out live in the field. He is along Harpeth River Drive this morning. So many people are out there cleaning up. And we, as the city, just want to make sure that it is the easiest process possible for everyone. Bobby, what are you seeing out there this morning? All right, I think we're having a little bit of trouble of hearing you, Bobby. So if you don't mind stepping a little bit closer to the phone there.
Did you hear what I said? We're out on
Jeff, are you able to hear him?
Very faintly.
Okay, yeah. If you don't mind maybe holding the phone, Bobby, and maybe turning it around there, I think we'd be able to hear you better.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you a little better. That's perfect.
Okay. No, I'm out on the west side of Brentwood in the Harpeth River Drive, Wildwood Subdivision. And there's many homes out here that have debris stacked in the front yard. And they are homeowners still pulling things out of the house and drying things in the sun and trying to get their homes back to normal.
Okay, so we want to be able to help with the process here. We're going to bring in Jeff Dobson with Planning and Codes. He's our director, and kind of explain a little bit about the process. Some people have been through this years ago in 2010, right, Jeff?
Yes, that's right, Deanna. Good morning, everyone. I guess the first thing I wanted to talk about is the application that our GIS staff has developed that is on our webpage. If you would navigate to www.brentwoodtn.gov, and on the homepage there, under Spotlight, is a link to a survey. There it is. The spotlight there says flood damage. You can just click on that picture and you can go right to the survey. And we asked that everybody that had any flood damage over the weekend enter their information into this form here. That'll help us to determine where all the damaged structures are. Once we get your information, we have been calling each and every person on the list to try to better assess what damage was caused by the storms over the weekend. So there's your link to the survey. And of course, if you need help with the survey, you can call any one of us and we will walk you through that.
And this map has actually really seen a lot of use. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that has grown as far as people using that?
Yeah, the survey is directly linked to the map. Here it comes. We started this yesterday, and yesterday there were 36 locations on that map. Today there are 69. That was just for a few minutes ago that I was talking to our GIS staff. So this gives us a better idea of where all of the flooding has occurred. Of course, it's been occurring in the usual areas along Harpeth River Drive and a couple areas further along the Little Harpeth River. So I don't think that link is on our webpage yet, but it will be. And I will make sure once we get off of this broadcast that I ask the GIS staff to load it up onto our webpage.
Okay, perfect. And we're going to bring in Senior City Planner Todd Petrowski here right now, because you really were instrumental, Todd, in helping a lot of people through this process back in the 2010 floods. And yesterday, the city issued a declaration an emergency declaration. And can you kind of talk about the importance of making sure that we capture all of this information, why people need to get a permit, why people need to, let the city know what's going on?
Yes, Deanna, thanks. So the city of Brentwood participates in the National Flood Insurance Program, and we have to do certain things in order to remain in good status. One of which is issue permits for improvements or repairs in the floodplain. It's my understanding that the city is waiving the permit fees, but we need to make sure that we first of all, we want people to get their stuff out. We want them to get their homes dry. And then we want them to reach out to city staff for a courtesy inspection. We do want to issue a permit. We want to make sure that the improvement cost is not considered a substantial improvement. And it's just some of the rules we have to follow with FEMA. But myself and other city staff are here to help address any questions the residents may have.
Yes, thank you, Todd. And let's talk a little bit about, let's head back out to Bobby, and he is out there still along Harpeth River Drive. And what do we see there behind you, Bobby?
There's a lot of debris and from homeowners who are cleaning out their house and getting debris out and putting it on the road to be picked up. So there's multiple houses down the street that are in the process of getting that debris out on the street, and some have dumpsters where they can load the debris in to have hauled off. That's kind of what we're looking at right now.
And one of the big questions I know you guys are hearing out there is, will the city be helping to pick these items up?
Yes, it will. I don't have the phone number at hand that they can contact or email. Perhaps somebody back in the office has that information. But do you want me to speak a little bit about what happens when we go on site to do an inspection?
Yes. Let's discuss that, Bobby. As far as if someone needs a home inspection and we have the request line up on our screen, what will happen when you head out to someone's home to do an inspection?
I'll go into the property, of course. I'll go to the front door and make contact with the homeowner, and then we'll do an exterior evaluation of the HVAC equipment that's outside and any other house system that may be located there. And then once that's accomplished, we'll go inside the house to see what kind of damage has been done and make an evaluation list of that information, and advise the homeowner of things that we see that need immediate attention. A lot of times HVAC units are in the garage or in the basement or crawl space. And we also, speaking of crawl space, we also look in the crawl space to see if there's any standing water, any other kind of damage that we might see and write a report on it and advise the homeowner of those conditions. And many homeowners will have to have the drywall cut out of the sections of the house, basements and so forth. And we utilize this little meter. You can see it's a meter. It's got two sharp prongs on top of it, and just basically take the meter, insert it into a wall stud or drywall, and it has a scale to show us if it gets up high into the red. That means it's got high moisture and needs to be replaced or at least dry out. So there's some information that the homeowners can go to, and hopefully we'll have it on the website later today. But for now, they could go to EPA.gov and click on the mold link, and it's got a lot of information concerning mold, because that's primarily what most homeowners are worried about with the damage, water damage to the house. So,
Okay. Excellent, Bobby. We're still having a little bit of trouble hearing you. So if you don't mind showing us what's going on out there, we'd love to see kind of the community and what is going on out there right now. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about permits and people who need to apply for a permit. How can they go about getting online and finding that?
The best way to do that is to go onto the web page that I announced earlier, www.brentwood.tn.gov. Sorry.
There we go. It's right there on your screen to make it easy for
There
you.
we go. That's better. Go up on the departments there and use the drop down. Go to planning and codes and click on that big blue box right there in the middle of the screen. That will take you to our online portal, and that's how you start the process of a permit.
Now, which one are they going to be looking for? Is it residential building here?
It'll be residential building or other permits. I can't, it's kind of hard to see that. So there's a demolition permit. Yeah, they can select some of those, whichever is appropriate. And if they need help, again, they can call any one of us.
And then all permit fees are going to be waived, correct?
Yes, they are. For all flood damaged properties, they are.
Okay, excellent. And what else do people need to know in terms of inspections? Do they need to have an electrical inspection?
They will need to have an electrical inspection. We are going to be doing courtesy inspections. So once you get everything cleaned out, all you have to do is call, and one of us will go out, one of our inspectors will go out there and do the courtesy inspection for you. And they can help you with information once they get out there to see the inside of the house.
Okay, perfect. All right, and Todd, this time when there's people needing lots of home repairs, sometimes contractor scams, we see those kind of pop up from time to time. How can people avoid being scammed by people in this situation?
I would, that's a good question. I guess I would suggest, I wouldn't give anyone money up front, and I would probably try to get 2 or 3 estimates for the repair work. Again, that's probably a better question for Bobby or Tim, but that would be my recommendation.
Do we want to talk about how residents should divide up the debris at the street for people, Bobby?
Yes.
Say it again. I didn't hear it.
We are requesting that citizens divide up the debris that they pull out of their house into 3 piles. Can you define those?
Furniture, appliances. Right. You want to separate the material by construction debris, another pile of furniture, and so forth. So you want to separate those items so they will, when they pick them up, they'll be able to get them to the right, either take them to the dump or possibly recycle.
Right. So construction debris, furniture, and appliances.
Right.
There you go.
Yes, and this is important. So when Public Works get ready to come out and pick up these items, this is the best way for them to be able to pick these items up as quickly as possible. And so as Bobby's showing us there in the neighborhood along Harpeth River Drive, lots of people are already doing this. They're sorting things out by appliances, by materials, building, home goods, by furniture. And so this is really going to help our Public Works crews as they get ready to come out. Another big question, Bobby and Tim and so the other inspectors have been hearing out there from the neighborhoods will be, when will the city come by and pick these items up? I know from our Public Works Director, Todd Hoppenstead, he is currently working on securing some large trucks to come over and pick these things up. So just wait. Next few days, we'll have a schedule as far as when we'll be able to come out and help with some of those things. All right. What else, Jeff? We have about 15 people watching live this morning, and we appreciate everyone. You're welcome to type in a comment on Facebook or YouTube if you have a specific question for Bobby or one of the other inspectors. This is our service to help you to get your questions answered. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people have already been through this before in 2010. So we're just looking to help you in any way. So what other things do you think would be helpful to let people know about, Bobby?
Well, from our 2010 flood experience, I always thought that bleach was a really good good product to use on mold. But once I started perusing the EPA website, that's not the case. The products that you want to use to get rid of mold is related to biocides. It's BIOCIDE, and that's a category of chemical products that actually do remove mold. So that's one thing. Of course, just always be safe when you're cleaning out any kind of flood damage, of possible electrical product, and that's primary. You don't want to be messing with something that's been damaged by the flood water. And also, if you have a water heater in a basement or similar areas, water level can get into both electrical and gas-fired water heaters. Both of those have components, lower third or other units that are susceptible to flood waters, and they put out a pilot light of the gas-fired water heater. But in most garages, the water heaters are required by code 18 inches off the ground, off the slab of the garage. So oftentimes the water, of course, doesn't get up that high. There's no concern for damage there. But those are primarily things we advise homeowners to be aware of and cautious about.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, Bobby. If you can kind of show us a little bit more about what's happening out there. One of our commissioners, Susanna McMillan, actually just typed in on Facebook, and she is correct. Public Works Director Todd Hoppenstead says that the first round of items will be picked up in those neighborhoods this Thursday. Those neighborhoods will be Wildwood, Laurelwood, Kingsbury, and River Oaks. So Public Works crews will be heading out this Thursday to pick up debris. The debris must be on the road, so it can't be on a trailer and then pulled out to the neighborhood. So it must be on the road. Any areas that aren't listed here, those 4 subdivisions, Wildwood, Laurelwood, Kingsbury, and River Oaks, then those homes and neighborhoods, if you can complete the damage survey form and let us know where you are. Otherwise, you'll need to contact Public Works to do kind of a pickup outside of those neighborhoods. And Bobby, did you have something else?
Yeah, we're walking down. We left the previous location because the people across the street are having their yards mowed, and what we want to show us a house down the street that is actually being raised above ground, and so that their problems be pretty much resolved once that occurs. And I'm not sure we can. So we'll walk a few steps down and see if we can get closer without getting interrupted by the light.
Okay, sounds good. While you walk, we're going to talk to Todd Petrowski about some of those homes in the neighborhood. And Todd, some of these after 2010 did decide to raise their homes. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. We had, I believe, we had two homes elevate, 2 or 3, and we've had 2 or 3 since. So it's always a good idea if you can afford to get up and out of the floodplain.
And I know you were out there in the neighborhood yesterday talking to some of these folks. Did you get the impression that maybe some people are thinking about this now?
Yes, I got the impression. I actually talked to 3 or 4 individuals that are going to inquire more about the requirements for elevating. So yeah, I expect to get some calls about that in the coming weeks.
Yeah. And let us know what your questions are in terms of permitting and electrical inspections. I know a lot of people have already been through some of this before. Todd, I know you were working, I think, on the phone earlier today, maybe with FEMA. FEMA's a big part of this once we declare an emergency declaration, correct?
Yeah, I was actually on a WebEx with FEMA about something else. It was about it was a yearly community assistance visit, and it's just where they check in with the city and make sure that we're doing everything we're supposed to do as far as the regulations. So that was an annual thing. The timing was odd because of the flood, this past weekend.
Yeah, that is interesting timing. Let's see. It looks like Bobby has his camera on a home that has been perhaps raised, or tell us what's going on here, Bobby.
Yeah, this existing home, and they're raising it approximately 8 to 10 feet from the previous foundation. And the river is located, Little Harpeth River is located right behind it. So that's just kind of one example. Like Todd was alluding to, there's been a few houses in this neighborhood that have undergo this condition where they raised their house above the flood stage. So they hopefully won't have the problems of other what they had before with the flooding here. It's somewhat infrequent flooding, but it's when it happens on this street, it's pretty devastating because a lot of the houses have low foundations where they're close to the ground and the river's right behind them. So it's some homeowners have taken action in actually raising their house.
Yeah. And I know that area out there along the river is beautiful. People love living out there. You'll see on our screen now, Wildwood, Laurelwood, Kingsbury, River Oaks, debris pickup will be through there on Thursday by the city. And I do see some items laying there already to the road in front of the house you're at, Bobby. And that's exactly what our public works crews need to have done. Just pull all of your items out to the road. And then our crews will definitely be by there. One of our commissioners, Susanna McMillan, is also saying that residents are asking if the city can do anything to help residents secure grants from FEMA if they decide to raise their home. I'm gonna turn this question to Todd. Todd, do you know if the city can help facilitate those grants from FEMA?
Well, I don't mind reaching out to them at all, but it's been my understanding that there is no grant funding available to elevate a private residence. As you know, during the 2010 floods, there was some grant funding available to purchase properties that the city participated in. We purchased two, one at the end of River Court, and then one at the end of Johnson Chapel Road West. Those structures were torn down and they're now city property. But again, I'm not aware of any grant funding to assist in elevating a structure. There is an additional, they call it ICC, increased cost of compliance. It's up to $30,000 on your flood insurance policy that you can get to assist in bringing your house into compliance with elevation requirements. So as far as I know, there's only $30,000 up to, and that's part of your flood insurance policy that can be used to go toward helping to pay for the cost of elevating the house.
Okay, and that is very helpful information because I'm sure these people out there who have gone through the 2010 flood and then it happening again, I'm sure some people are getting frustrated. So this is an opportunity. Thank you, Commissioner McMillan, for your questions from the residents out there. She lives in that neighborhood and is well connected to those people. Todd, did you hear any other questions yesterday that you think might be helpful to share?
Not really. You know, just the general typical questions that I think we've already covered. Again, I got a lot of questions about the debris pickup, and that's been addressed. So really nothing to add. I would just encourage everyone to, get everything out, let it dry out before you start putting stuff back. Contact the city. Let's secure a permit and make sure everything's done right and quickly and all that. We really don't want to hold anyone up.
Yes. And we also have some information on our website about avoiding severe weather contractor scams. This is from the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance. And so we definitely want to be able to help anybody needing that information. It's on our homepage. And they recommend that you never sign over if you do get an insurance check, never to sign that over contractor. And also the state home improvement law prohibits contractors from asking for a down payment of more than a third of the amount. So there's lots of helpful information on our website, lots of helpful links there to find where you can even verify a license of an insurance agent or contractor. So definitely use those resources that are there on our website. Jeff, I know you guys are busy this week with working with a lot of residents who are calling and contacting you. What else do you want them to know this morning before we go?
Well, I think it's important that they all know that we're here to help them. And we may not know all of the information right now. We're still, our processes are still evolving, but we will figure it out. And if you feel that you need somebody to talk to, we're here. Just give us a call, 615-371-2204.
All right. And thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks to Todd and also to Bobby for all of their help this morning. And residents, you're welcome to also post your questions here in the Facebook feed, YouTube feed throughout the day. And we'll make sure that someone from Planning and Codes or someone from the city will be able to answer those. So thank you all this morning. Bye-bye.
Thank you.